Lesson 28, week 28 of 52. We're going to look at Isaiah 1 through 12, the book of Micah, and the book of Amos 1 through 9 in our Through the Bible in 1 Year study. Last time we saw the ministry of the prophets Elisha and Jonah. This time God calls Isaiah, Amos, and Micah to warn Israel of her apostasy. Isaiah is justly accounted the chief of the writing prophets. He has the more comprehensive testimony and is distinctively the prophet of redemption. The New Testament church does not appear, but Messiah in his person and sufferings and the blessing of the Gentiles through him are in full vision. Isaiah is in two chief divisions. One, looking toward the captivities, chapters 1 through 39, and 2, looking beyond the captivities, chapters 40 through 66. The events cover a period of 62 years, according to Ussher's dates. The Old Schofield Bible, page 713. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Isaiah 1:1. Isaiah, which means Yahweh is salvation, was likely a resident of Jerusalem, and his 60-plus year ministry overlapped 4 kings of Judah. He was married, had 2 sons, and tradition teaches that he was martyred by King Manasseh, and the Catholic father Justin Martyr said that he was sawed asunder. Hebrews 11:37. Isaiah prophesied during the time when pagan worship was rampant in both the northern, or Israel, and the southern, Judah, kingdoms. Isaiah was sent from God to turn Judah back to the God of their forefathers. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up the children of the nation of Israel, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the donkey his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers and corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They have gone away backward. Isaiah 1:2 through 4. Although God had called Isaiah to prophesy against the southern kingdom, his rebuke was against all Israel, but few would heed. From the time Isaiah began, in 40 years the northern kingdom, Israel, would fall into the Assyrian invasion in 722 BC. The southern kingdom, or Judah, would hold out another 175 years until 586 BC, before its conquering by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom and Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, you people of Gomorrah. Isaiah 1:9 and 10. At the time of Isaiah, in about 760 BC, the overwhelming majority of both Jewish rulers and the people had broken the law of Moses and its first commandments, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Only a very small remnant hadn't. God had promised Solomon at the dedication of the temple what his judgment would be for their disobedience. But if you shall at all turn from following me, you or your children, and will not keep my commandments, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them. 1 Kings 9, 6 and 7. If Israel would not heed, God would drive them off his land. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams. I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or goats. When you come to appear before me, bring no more vain oblation. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, I am weary to bear them. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yes, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Isaiah 12 through 16. The sacrificial worship system, holy days and Sabbaths, that God had given Israel had now become an abomination to him. Why? At the same time they were practicing the law of Moses, they were carrying out the worship of pagan gods. God was incensed at their hypocrisy. If you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword. The Lord has spoken it. Isaiah 1, 19 and 20. The message Isaiah delivered was clear. Israel, stop your pagan worship of the false gods of the Canaanites and come back to a right relationship with me or else. After his strong warning against the nation of Israel, the prophet lapsed into a time of prophecy, which he did often in his writings. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the kingdom of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains at Jerusalem, and all Gentile nations shall flow into it, and many people. Let us go up to the house of the God of Jacob. Isaiah 2, 2 and 3. He's, of course, talking about the millennium. Kingdom blessings on Israel and Gentiles who obeyed God. Before Israel can receive her future kingdom blessings from God during the millennium, the 1,000-year reign, she must go through a period of chastisement, 7 years of tribulation for her past sins. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Isaiah 2:12. And the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. 2:18 and 19. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord. Woe unto their soul! Woe unto the wicked! The Lord standeth up to plead, to judge the people. Isaiah 3, 8 through 13. The tribulation will come after the rapture of the church and before the second coming of Christ. God will show no mercy on those who reject him at that time. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphim, and one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. And one of the seraphim brought a live coal and touched thy lips. Thine iniquity is taken away. Isaiah 6, 5 through 7. Isaiah had a vision of Christ in the most holy place. In comparison to Christ's holiness, Isaiah identified himself with the sinfulness of Israel, but he received the cleansing of sin by fire, which the nation surely needed, all in preparation of his ministry to Judah. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, king of Israel, went up toward Jerusalem to make war against it. Isaiah 7:1. Within 65 years, Ephraim, the northern kingdom, will be broken, that it be not a people. 7:8. Moreover, the Lord spoke again unto Ahaz, saying, Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I test the Lord. Isaiah 7:1 and 8 through 12. There's Pekah, the king of the northern kingdom, and Ahaz, king of the southern kingdom. King Pekah of Israel, the northern kingdom, conspired with King Rezin of Syria to invade Judah, which worried King Ahaz. Isaiah told him not to worry, that in 65 years the northern kingdom would not even exist. Ahaz didn't believe him, so Isaiah told Ahaz to ask God for a sign, but he refused, believing he was testing God. What does this have to do with the birth of Christ? Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive, and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Isaiah 7:14. This is Isaiah's first messianic prophecy, the virgin birth. But why here? As King Ahaz didn't believe Isaiah that in 65 years the northern kingdom would be destroyed, so the nation of Israel will not believe that God had sent his son, the Messiah, despite the fact that God gave them the most miraculous sign possible. How many virgins do you know that conceived and delivered a son? Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is, God with us. Matthew 1:23. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. John 1:11. Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up upon them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria, and all his glory, and he shall come up over all his channels, and go over all his, and he shall pass through Judah. He shall reach even to the neck. Isaiah 8:7 and 8. And God shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both houses of Israel. 8:14. Seek unto them that have familiar spirits, wizards. Should not a people seek unto their God? Isaiah 8:19. There's the route that the king of Assyria will take to descend upon Israel. Because of their continued apostasy, God told Isaiah that he will send Assyria like a tidal wave. They will conquer Israel in the north in 722 BC and invade Judah in the south, but God will spare Judah for now. For those who believe God, he will be a sanctuary. For those who don't, a stumbling stone, a rock of offense. Isaiah asked, why would anyone seek fortune tellers to contact the dead when one can seek answers from the living God? The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. Amos 1:2. Amos, a herdsman from Tekoa, about 10 miles south of Jerusalem from Judah, was called of God to prophesy mainly to the northern kingdom, Israel. His ministry began shortly after Isaiah, but did not last nearly as long as Isaiah's, only about 10 years. Israel was at the height of its power and experiencing great economic prosperity, but was morally bankrupt. And a man, a son, and his father will go in unto the same maid to profane my holy name. 2:7. Bethel and Dan had become Israel's sites of worship, but nothing outside of the temple in Jerusalem was accepted of God. 4:4. Hear ye this word which I take up against you, even a lamentation, O house of Israel. The virgin of Israel is fallen, she shall no more rise, she is forsaken upon her land. Amos 5:1 and 2. Though written during a very prosperous economic time, Amos speaks to Israel like a preacher's funeral message. She is spiritually dead. Though God's judgment on her nationally had already been decided, Amos reached out to individuals that they might turn from their wicked ways. For thus saith the Lord, and ye shall live. Seek him that maketh Orion, the Lord is his name. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live, and so the Lord, the God of hosts, be with you, that the Lord will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. Amos 5:4 and 8. In every age or dispensation, God calls out to a remnant of believers to heed his advice. Like Isaiah, Amos paused in his chastisement of Israel and looked into the future and the tribulation. Therefore the Lord, the God of hosts, saith thus, wailing shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all highways, Alas, alas! And in the vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. If a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? Amos 5:16 through 19. Many in Christendom reject the doctrine of end times and say it's not possible to know what the book of Revelation is about. Foolishness. Ask Isaiah or Amos if they believed the tribulation was coming, and they both would say yes. After sharing the horrors of the future day of the Lord, or the tribulation, Amos went back to writing about the subject at hand, the apostasy of Israel. I despise your feast days, and I will not accept your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings, I will not accept them. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of your stringed instruments. Amos 5:21 through 23. Amos declared that God had had enough with the hypocrisy of most Jews at that time. The things that he required of Moses and the Israelites in the wilderness, now God despised. Why? Have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But you have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, your God, which you made to yourself. Therefore will I cause you to go into captivity beyond Damascus, saith the Lord. Amos 5:25 through 27. Then answered Amos, I was not a prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdman, and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock, and the Lord said unto me, Go prophesy unto my people Israel. 7:14 and 15. Amos wanted his readers to know that he was not born into a family of prophets, or schooled to learn how to be one, but rather chosen of God while a simple sheep rancher and fruit grower to bring the chastisement of God on the people of the northern kingdom. Thus saith the Lord God, showed unto me, and behold a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, A basket of summer fruit. Then said the Lord unto me, The end is come upon my people of Israel. Amos 8:1 and 2. The judgment of God was about to fall on Israel. Amos, like the other prophets of God, always gave them good news after giving them bad news. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities, and inhabit them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them. Amos 9:11, 13 through. The word of the Lord that came to Micah, the Morashthite, in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, which he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem. Micah 1:1. Micah, who is like Yahweh, was from a town in Judah, Moresheth, 25 miles southwest of Jerusalem. Like Isaiah and Amos before him, Micah prophesied about the impending invasion of the northern kingdom by Assyria. Therefore I will make Samaria as a heap of the field, and all the graven images thereof shall be beaten to pieces, and all the hires thereof shall be burned with fire, and all the idols thereof will I lay desolate. Micah 1:6. Israel had a long history of prophets of God and false prophets, Satan, who said that as long as they were keeping the rites and rituals of the law, God would tolerate it. They were wrong. But truly I, Micah, not the false prophets, am full of the power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Micah 3:8. But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been of old, from everlasting. Micah 5:2. Micah then prophesied of the place of the Messiah's birth, a small town 5 miles southwest of Jerusalem, where Rachel died in childbirth with Benjamin, and the birthplace of David, the son of Jesse. God had promised Israel in the past that if they disobeyed him, he would withhold his physical blessings from them. Therefore also will I make thee sick in smiting thee, in making thee desolate, because of thy sins. Thou shalt eat, but not be satisfied. Take hold, but not deliver. Sow, but not reap. 6:13 through 15. Israel was living a meaningless life, full of burdens, with little joy, awaiting the judgment of God. And King Ahaz reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of the Lord his God, like his father David, and made his sons pass through the fire, according to the abominations of the heathen. 2 Kings 16, 1 through 4. King Ahaz of Judah practiced infanticide. He offered his baby son as a burnt offering to his God. Ahaz sent messenger to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of the king of Syria and the king of Israel, which rise up against me. 2 Kings 16, 7 and 8. King Ahaz asked the king of Assyria for help against Israel and Syria, a dumb move, giving him a bribe from the treasures of the temple and palace, 16:8, but then died and replaced by King Hezekiah, 16:20. Next, Hosea became the last evil king of Israel, 17:1, and was invaded by Assyria. Against him, Hoshea, came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. 17:3. God's judgment on Israel had fallen. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went to Samaria, and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria, Shalmaneser, carried away Israel into Assyria. 17, 5 and 6. Next time, God's anger is manifested. We're going to study Isaiah 13 through 27, 2 Kings 18, 2 Chronicles 29 through 31, Psalms 48, and the book of Hosea, chapters 1 through 14.